Hey guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by again and clicking on this video. But let's get right to the bee's knees. So today I want to talk about the evidence towards Banjo Kazooie actually being in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now there are some people who claim that there isn't a chance, don't count on it, and I already previously kind of explained my reasonings in a previous video when Xbox Replay said that they really dig Smash Bros. Ultimate. But I was kind of dazed and really sleepy, and I was just kind of trying to get the thing out the window. But now I actually want to directly look at why there's evidence heading towards Banjo Kazooie being in Smash Brothers. And when I really look at it, there's quite a bit that kind of insinuates Banjo being in Smash Brothers. But I want to get down and I actually want to talk about the main points. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the main evidence for Banjo Kazooie being in Smash so far. So, first of all, I guess we could start in chronological order, if you will. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I'll do it anyway. So first of all, Banjo Kazooie was once a Nintendo IP. This is kind of important. Probably the most important thing. So recently we got Joker announced for Smash Ultimate, and I am super excited for that because I'm gonna be maining Joker, unless they announce Banjo, then I'll be a Banjo main for the rest of my life. But I'm gonna be a Joker main, up until that point because I absolutely love the Persona 5 series. But the thing with Persona 5 is that Persona was never in Nintendo. Nintendo has never affiliated themselves with that IP before, just ever. And already with Banjo being a Nintendo IP at least once, in Nintendo's history, kind of the thing that streamlined Nintendo 64, that's already such a big deal for Nintendo. And if Smash Ultimate's supposed to be a celebration of Nintendo but also of video games just in general, I think it would be a great thing to do to put Banjo Kazooie into Smash Ultimate, and I know this argument is used a lot, tons of people are saying it, but that really does give it the brownie points, because if an IP that's never been on a Nintendo console can be in Smash, I don't see why Banjo wouldn't be. And I know there's licenses issues, but we'll get to that, I suppose. The second point is that Phil Spencer directly replied, and he said that he thinks that it would be cool if Banjo was in the next Super Smash Bros. DLC. We've worked on Nintendo on a rare IP. No issues. He said no issues. Now, this is the CEO or somebody that's, this is the big deal. This is the big chungus. This is the guy, who wouldn't just say something if he didn't mean it. Because as a boss, you would know that you don't throw that kind of stuff around and get people's hopes up. Especially when you know that there is a probability of this even happening. You know that there's a chance of this happening. I'm sure he was well aware. It's not like he was like, "Oh fuck it, I'm gonna tweet this out," and I was just, sorry, I burped. He's not just gonna go around saying, "Oh, I'm gonna tweet this out." And, I'm just going to say this because fucking whatever, this, it's a nice thought. No, I'm sure he thought about it. I am pretty sure he thought about it. And my second point is that he replied again. He said, somebody asked him, "Are you still willing to let Banjo Kazooie appear in Smash Bros?" And he just said, "Yep." Now this one, I feel like he just replied. This one could have been the one where he just yeah, well, whatever. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe, he just said yep because he was already working on Smash Ultimate, to put Banjo Kazooie in there. Maybe he didn't want to insinuate anything and say something that would, that would speculate people, because when you sign an NDA, it's like you're more careful about, opening or saying what you shouldn't say. And I feel maybe he could have responded much simpler, You know, I'm probably overthinking this. I probably, you know, for sure am overthinking this. But you know, we're looking at the evidence, and we got to keep an open mind. You know, let's keep an open mind about these things. Not only that, but Nintendo renewed their trademark for Banjo Kazooie. Why would they do that? Why would they renew their trademark for Banjo Kazooie? They're not using the IP. The closest thing they have to a Banjo Kazooie IP is Ukulele, and you know, but you know that's its own company. That's Platonic. That's not Microsoft. How, you know, if Microsoft owns, you know, Nintendo, and I don't know how this stuff works. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea how this stuff works. But if Microsoft owns Banjo Kazooie, and Microsoft isn't gonna be, you know, and Nintendo can't use Banjo Kazooie, why would they renew their trademark? That's interesting. I have no idea why. Now, some people could say that it's for a Nintendo 64 Classic, you know, but then, you know, people would say it's like, oh, you can't get Banjo in Smash because he's not on Nintendo's platform right now, and because he is a Microsoft exclusive, and he's not on any modern Nintendo platform. So, even if they're renewing Banjo Kazooie for a Nintendo 64 Classic, that would already put him in a Nintendo platform, a modern Nintendo platform, giving him a bigger ticket than he already does now to be in Smash Brothers. You know, so I mean, and you know that's one thing I think, you know, and that's kind of a big deal. You know, going out of your way to renew a trademark for a character you haven't used in, what is it, 18 years? That's kind of sus. This is a little sus, you know. You know, and the next thing is that there are rareware spirits that were data mined from Smash Ultimate. That's kind of a big deal. That means that Microsoft had something to do. So Microsoft was already working with Nintendo. Already so much more than they already have been previously. They've already been working with them, you know, with Minecraft, with cross-platform, you know, expressing that you have to work together. And sure, that's Minecraft. You know, that's a topic for another day. But they put rareware spirits into Smash Brothers. And we're talking about games that were made roughly around the same time before Banjo Kazooie. Why would they choose rare spirits from that era, you know, and not something, you know, after Microsoft had bought Rare? I mean, I know that I believe Jet Force Gemini had a game as soon as Microsoft bought them, but you know, from what the data miners said, is it's from an older, you know, generation, and it's not only that, but it's also Blast Corp. So that's really interesting to think. That's something that's also more to munch on, and we're only halfway. You know, we're only halfway there. We still got a couple more reasons. Not only that, after that had happened, character specs were data mined. And the character specs, if you put them into a character, the character's floaty. Banjo Kazooie is quite floaty, so apparently he's like heavier than Mario, but he's lighter than Link. And that's a great weight for Banjo Kazooie. That's probably roughly around where he would be if if anybody's ever played a Banjo Kazooie game, and you can go on my channel and see me playing Banjo Kazooie. He's a light character. Not only that, but when you put this character specs into the game, he has a slide. He has a slide when he moves back and forth. So when you're moving forward and you walk back, he'll slide a little bit. That's exactly what Banjo does in his games. Exactly. And not only that, but like I said, he's floaty. You know, so it's like okay, so the specs, you know, speak for themselves. Now you could beg to differ. You know, it could be Sora. I don't know. I'm personally not a Kingdom Hearts fan. I couldn't get into it. You know, But and you could make the argument that it's for Sora. But I mean, we're talking about Banjo today, because Banjo's my favorite. I like to think that I'm the biggest Banjo Kazooie fan. I know it's pretty naive of me to say, but I'd like to think that I'm the biggest Banjo Kazooie fan just ever. So today we're talking about Banjo, and I'm saying that this could possibly mean that Banjo, they've already implemented the specs for Banjo, and that he is right around the corner. And I could, like I said, I could be completely wrong, but let's have some fun here, all right? Not only that, but the data miners, again, they dug through the code, and they got stuff for Paku, Jack, and they have Brave. Now Paku obviously probably Plant, Joker, Jack is obviously for Joker, and Brave, we don't know who Brave is. What if the beginning letter of these code names are for the characters? What if Jack and Paku, Paku they didn't really have to hide, but what if Jack had nothing to do with Joker? What if Jack had nothing to do with Joker, and it was just the beginning letter of his name? And so the beginning letter of Brave is for Banjo. Now it's like, oh, wow, oh, okay, that's that's interesting, and this isn't, I think this is the least most convincing evidence, but it's the most, I think for me it's the most like, oh, that's very, that's a very creative, interesting, that's an interesting way to go about it. It caught my attention. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. But I'm not gonna dwell on this too much, but it is worth mentioning. I wouldn't call it a concrete evidence, but it's whatever. And then the last one, this one isn't really for for Banjo, I'd say, but I'll get to it in a bit. But Xbox Replay mentions that they really dig Smash Ultimate. Now, this could mean that they could be putting, Steve from Minecraft in, But in that previous video where I was like half asleep and, trying to get that video out, they could do a thing where Minecraft gets a stage and Banjo Kazooie gets implemented as the main as the main DLC character. I could totally see that happening, or they add they add soundtracks from Minecraft, or they put in some extra items, and I don't, we don't know if there's gonna be items being implemented into the DLC, but I mean, it would be a great way to get Minecraft representation without really having to put Steve in, and while also putting in Banjo, because maybe there's a deal with Microsoft. It's like, okay, well, we get to, if you want Banjo, we get to put in Steve from Minecraft. We get to put in, representation for Minecraft in a stage, and it's like, okay, yeah, or we could get both. We could get both. It's highly unlikely. I don't think we're gonna get two Microsoft reps in a DLC pack. I don't think it's gonna happen. But it's a possibility. But the fact that Xbox went out of their way to mention Smash Ultimate kind of seems like they're teasing something. You can't really you can't just ignore that. And finally, the fans have been asking for it.
I really feel like this is their time to shine.
I would unashamedly main him all day long.
This video is mainly for me to express how badly I want Banjo Kazooie in Smash Brothers.
I hope that's true. I love Banjo Kazooie.
As many others did, I also grew up with Banjo's games on the Nintendo 64. I think the pair will be a fantastic pick because of the cartoony style, similarity with Nintendo's history, and just the opportunity to make a brand new character.
And I know that seems kind of like a lame, almost like a lame argument, but the fans have been asking for Ridley and King K. Rool for as long as we can remember, and King K. Rool was an N64 character, or at least from what I remember, originated as an N64 character. And I mean, I'm definitely asking for it. I definitely want Banjo Kazooie in Smash, and I know there are other people who definitely want Banjo Kazooie in Smash. I mean, why wouldn't you? They're adorable. They got an amazing moveset. The music is phenomenal, and they're just classic. They're just classic characters. So, I mean, put them in. And I feel like I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that because people want them, will probably is probably a better reason to put Banjo Kazooie in than anything else. I grew up playing Banjo Kazooie, and I those characters are gonna stick with me to my grave. That's seriously how much I love these characters. And I'm willing to bet that this time around the Baron Bird duo is actually gonna make it in, and when they do, you're gonna see a lot more Smash Ultimate gameplay on this channel. But yeah, those are my reasonings for the evidence pointing towards Banjo Kazooie being in Smash. This is Yuzan, and thank you for joining me in this speculation, if you will. And I'll see you another time. I appreciate it.